Here's where it all starts. The foundation of our production, the soil. We can't begin to plant our crop without preparing our fields for the year. So our first step in all of this is nitrogen application. This is vital to production, and in broad terms, it sets the foundation to bring our corn crops to their highest yield potential. Nitrogen is a key element in the growth of our corn, or any plant for that matter. The presence of nitrogen in soil, and in turn our corn plants, makes it possible for our corn to better produce chlorophyll. Now, chlorophyll is the chemical that gives plants their green color and allows them to absorb energy from sunlight. The chlorophyll traps energy from the light, then uses that energy to form a chemical reaction that converts carbon dioxide and water into oxygen and glucose, which is a form of sugar. This process is known as photosynthesis, which translates as to make with light. So, to incorporate nitrogen into our fields, we utilize two methods. The first method is pre-plant spraying. This is a straightforward method that involves the utilization of a sprayer to coat our fields in a 28% liquid nitrogen solution. It works on the simple scientific principle of natural absorption into the soil. We spray our acres with the 28% nitrogen and allow it to saturate our fields. Ideally, we would like a light rain soon after to help the soil more fully absorb the nitrogen before cultivating. Now, as we mentioned before, we utilize two methods for applying nitrogen to our fields. And as we introduced it, the pre-plant spray on nitrogen is considered our first pass of the season. But we can also utilize a post-plant method of nitrogen application. After a field has been planted but not yet had nitrogen applied to it, we will apply it using a piece of equipment that we call a 28 bar. This represents the 28% nitrogen saturation in the application, and this method is called side dressing. Side dressing is the practice of applying nitrogen between rows of corn at a certain level of maturity directly into the soil. This allows our corn to absorb the nitrogen at the most optimal time in the most optimal way, directly through the root stem. This method of nitrogen application is common practice for many farmers, and the reasons for doing so may vary. But for us, it comes down to a few factors, such as field conditions, weather patterns, and in some cases, workload distribution. And while it is not classified as one of our official 14 passes, it is still a vital step that we may have to take to produce high-quality seed corn. From here, we move into our second pass, cultivation. Where nitrogen application is a pass meant for the nourishment of our crop, cultivation is utilized to prepare our fields to accept our seeds. Post-harvest, our soil becomes hard and clotted during the winter months. So in order to prepare fields for the new season, we must make passes to break up the earth and give our planters a fresh, loose, workable plane to plant our seeds in. In order to do this, we will utilize cultivators and rolling baskets. In a pass, the cultivators, which are composed of large hooked broad blades, will break up the earth into larger, rougher chunks, pulling up soil clots out of the earth. Following directly behind our cultivator is our rolling baskets. These baskets are bladed wheel baskets that roll across the top of the soil and break up our large clots into smaller, finer pieces. This allows us to have the best starting point for our fields coming into the season. This step is crucial as it makes our soil workable and optimal for planting, nourishing, and harvesting our seed corn. Optimal. It's an interesting word that I believe will become a theme as we journey along the path towards understanding the work and precision of the modern farmer. So if you would, join us on our next episode when the path of precision moves us from field preparation to our planting season. Our next episode will be out on Tuesday, August 16th at 9 a.m.